This is a follow-up to my previous video on electric vehicle chargers. Stay tuned. So welcome back, folks. JD here again with Car Finance Simplified. I just wanted to follow up very quickly on my previous video, which I posted a couple of days ago, which was where I was considering, is it actually worth installing a dedicated electric vehicle charging point? If, like me, you only do a limited amount of miles a day, is it actually worth it? Is it worth spending the £300, £400, £500, £600 on a charger? How long is it going to take to pay for itself? And what I wanted to do is follow up on that. Some people very kindly commented on that video. Some people didn't quite comment as kindly. I think someone called me an idiot, but that's by the by. A really good comment came from somebody who told me about Octopus's Agile tariff used in conjunction with their Ohm smart cable, as you can see here. I think Ohm is a third-party company, and they are currently working with Octopus. And if you're an Octopus customer, obviously, as I say, no affiliation with Octopus at all, apart from the fact that I am an Octopus customer, and their customer services is very good, I have to say. They, in conjunction with Ohm, will give you a smart charge cable for £199. I think it normally retails at £399. And this is a dedicated charging cable that you can terminate in various configurations. 32 amp commando plug, a 16 amp commando plug, even a 13 amp normal 3-pin plug. You can have it hardwired in, and on the other end you can have type 1 or type 2. And it has this box of tricks which gives you all the protection you need. So I've been reading around this in terms of the electrical safety and side of things, and I won't go into that in today's video, but there's a lot of discussion about, as well as having a standard RCD protection that you'd have, you also require a DC RCD protection unit on it as well, 6 milliamp. And this includes all of those gubbins as well. So when I was talking the other day about just sticking the car into a standard 13 amp socket, what I wasn't considering was kind of the safety implications of that. So actually, thinking about it, digging a little bit deeper, when this Ohm smart charge cable was recommended to me, I actually think for £199 and a bit of installation, which I'll talk about in a second, it is actually worthwhile. It also is a smart charger, so you can control it from an app, you can sync it with your tariff, you can tell it when to charge. So certainly with Octopus Go and Agile, which I'm going to discuss in a minute, you can tell it to only charge between certain periods of the day. So that's really nice. So for me, I think what I would do if I do eventually go down the EV charging route is to go for one of these, and then also go for a dedicated, something like this, 32 amp C-form connection on a dedicated supply. Now, I've been reading around these as well, and if you do go down this route, they do recommend that. So I'm just trying to find a better picture of it. Is it there? Yeah. So they do recommend you go for an interlocked connection, which, by my understanding, basically means that you can't turn the power on, if you like, lift up this blue lid and stick your fingers in. It will only activate, if you like. It won't become live. It will only become live when you physically properly put the commando plug, or the C-form plug as I would normally call it, straight in. So you can't actually get a shock from it. It will only also release when you turn the power off. So that's an interlocking connection. So I would go for one of these on a standard supply, and then I would also get one of these Ohm charging cables, I think. So I reckon for about 300 quid maybe, which is less than the grant you would get if you go down the OLEV route and you get a dedicated proper grant for the installation. For me, I think this is a better option. But the nice thing about it, and what someone else commented, and I also did a bit more research and somebody sent me a link to it, was this Octopus Agile tariff. Now, I had never even heard of Agile 2 days ago when I made that video. And my understanding is that Agile is a variable tariff that changes its half-hourly unit prices based on the demands on the grid. and they publish kind of I don't know whether it's the next 48 hours or the next 24 hours of what the charges are going to be per every half an hour. And then this agility charge, you can synchronize with that. And you can basically say, right, between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., I want you to provide me with 4 hours worth of charge, let's say, at the cheapest rate. And the app, and there's some load of other videos, I'll try and put some links to some other videos which I found on this. The app will basically turn the charger on for a certain amount of time when it knows the unit is a certain price, and then when it gets expensive it turns the charger off, and then it waits again until the next cheapest. My only criticism about that is, if you look, this is kind of another link that somebody sent me. This is kind of the stats for the previous 48 hours. And I don't know whether you can see this on the screen. Let me just do something here for a minute. I don't know whether you can see this, but if you look at the half-hour pricing for the previous 7 days, you can see there are periods, mainly between when there's most demand on the grid, so around dinner time. If you look here, between about 4 p.m. and about 7 p.m, a lot of the time it's hitting upwards of 30 pence a unit. These are inclusive of VAT, by the way. So I think the thing with Agile is it can work very well, but you've got to be really on the ball in terms of the way you live. You know, oh, it's going to be really expensive at tea time, so let's not do any cooking until after 7 p.m. at night. Well, who's going to do that? I don't know. I don't think I could be prepared, even though I do like data. I don't think I could be prepared to make that much of a sacrifice and constantly look when and for how long I can turn my oven on or turn the kettle on for or whatever. So I think it could work very well, but I think you've got to be really on the ball. So what I like about Octopus Go is that I would know that between 12:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. is 5p. And if you look on here, if we look at the last 48 hours, nowhere is the price 5 pence. 5.08, nowhere does it fall below 5 pence. And if you look on here, look, there's loads of these peaks where it's 30 pence between this peak time. But again, nowhere 8p, 7p, 8p. So I guess if you look down here, look, it tells you that the average all-day unit price for the past year is 8.89 pence. So I guess if you could be a bit more flexible with your car charging, perhaps charging it a little bit in the daytime, a little bit in the evening, a little bit, early morning, whatever, then maybe it would work out cheaper. It says here, look, the average of the cheapest 4 hours from every day across 365 days is 4.46. So yes, it's slightly cheaper. But what if some of these hours were in the daytime? I don't know whether they would be, but what if they were when you're at work and you can't plug your charger in? What I want to be able to do when I get mine, if I get mine, is to be able to... Sorry, let me just... Yeah, there we go. Is to be able to plug it in at night and know that between 12:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. it's always going to be 5p. Now, if we go back to the previous video I did, when we were comparing the 13 amp to the 32 amp supply, if we did get one of these charging cables with a 32 amp dedicated supply, as I showed last time, on a 32 amp you're getting about nearly 30 kilowatts of energy in that 4 hour window, and it's going to work out at £1.47. And assuming about 350 watts of energy or power, whatever you want to call it, don't pick me up on that because somebody criticised me the other day. So 350 watts of power, let's say, to travel 1 mile, we're going to get about 84 miles of energy on that 4 hour window. Now for me that's plenty. I commute about 30 miles a day tops. So yes, if I was going on a longer journey, the Agile tariff might work better. But I think for me, to know that every night I can plug it in and tell this smart charger to sync with the tariff and only start charging between 12:30 and 4:30, and I know you can obviously tell the car to do that as well, but at least with this you can sync the actual charger so you know it's only turning on between the low rate hours of Octopus Go. I think for me it works out better, and I think that's what I would choose. The other thing I worked out, look here, is if we look at what it said on that website, the average it said across the previous 12 months was 8.89 pence a unit. The average for Octopus Go, what I've done here is I've averaged 20 hours at 13.5 pence, which is the standard rate on Octopus Go, and 4 hours of 5 pence a unit, and that gives us a daily average of 12.08. So yes, it's more expensive, 12 versus 8.89, and yes, the standing charge is slightly higher. But I reckon if you were to always charge, going on the previous year's worth of data, if you were always going to charge between 12:30 and 4:30 a.m, 4 hours on a 32 amp charger, I think for me anyway, Octopus Go seems a better bet. Please do comment, good or bad. Please be kind. You know, let's not get nasty. But please be kind, please comment, see what you think. If anyone's out there is on, I know a lot of people are on Agile, a lot of people are on Octopus Go, a lot of people have got electric vehicles. I haven't even got an electric vehicle yet, so this is all theoretical. Do please comment. Do, as always, email me here if you want a copy of the latest spreadsheet. Another thing I thought to just mention, if anyone is thinking about joining Octopus Energy, regardless of whether it's for an electric vehicle or any of their standard tariffs, you can actually use my link. If you use this, you will get a £50 credit, as will I. So it works for both of us. So that's quite nice. I'll also put a link in that description. I'll say I'm not affiliated with Octopus Energy. This is what any Octopus Energy customer gets when you join. So if anybody would like a £50 credit on their account, please feel free to use this referral code. Okay, I hope everyone is safe and well. Please continue to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.